autumn 2021. We want to thank you very much for watching UKSG. Normally, we're a 2 day speedrunning marathon held 4 times a year in Glasgow, Scotland, but due to the situation with COVID-19, we're bringing you 3 days of exciting speedruns from the comfort of our own homes to yours. And doing that now is gonna be Benedictator with Bioshock. Take it away.
Hello, everybody. Benedictator here, ready to do some Bioshock. Um, this one's kind of a goofy run. I'll explain it during the intro cutscene because we got about three to 4 minutes of cutscene here, so I can kind of do my intro stuff during that. So, otherwise, I'll go ahead and get started here. I'll go ahead and do a countdown, and we'll rock and roll. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So this is a little intro level. There's a couple of little intro levels. This one's really short. It's mostly cutscene, and then we'll get to the Welcome to Rapture level, and that's very much like an intro level as well. Pretty cutscene heavy. Not a whole lot of cutscenes in this game, and in the any percent run, we would skip most of them. But we'll get to watch them for this particular category. But yeah, all right, here we go. So all we do is just enter this little lighthouse and jump into the bathysphere. Pretty simple. And we watch the iconic Welcome to Rapture intro where Andrew Ryan talks to us. This game's had a pretty good intro, all things considered, but after you watch it a handful of times, it does get repetitive, but all things considered, it's not bad. So yeah, I'll kind of explain what we got going on here, and I'll just give a shout out. The Octopath speedrun was awesome. I've never played that game, but it's one that I've always thought looks fun, and you know, probably want to play it someday. But yeah, that was cool. You did a great job. Very entertaining. But yeah, anyways, shout out to the Bioshock speedrun crew. So it's really interesting. There's going to be a lot of changes to the Bioshock runs coming up soon. We just found an amazing. I should credit KPC Zombie. Found an incredible skip in this game. And this game's like 15 something years old, so like you would think we would have found most of the really big skips, but we just found this one like a week and a half ago. And kind of long story short, we walk on top of the enemies in such a way and kill them, and then we can use their bodies to help us clip through walls. So that's the new skip that we found, and it's gonna shave. This is like a 40-minute run for any percent. Not this category, but like any percent is like a 40-minute run, and we're probably cutting off like 8 minutes with this new skip. So it's pretty significant. It's a pretty monumental skip that just got found. But yeah, anyways, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays into the other categories. But yeah, just thought I'd shout that out because that's some pretty big news in the Bioshock community. Anyways, so this is like kind of a meme run. It's not like super memey, but the run itself is like low-key kind of a meme. So there is a no major skips category, which is like a fairly, you know, a fairly popular category for various speedruns. But this is sort of like the inverse of that. So this is a no minor skip. So it's mostly glitchless. It's basically glitchless, except for we do 3 tricks that let us basically skip entire levels. So yeah. No, says the man who watched it belongs to God. You were close. You're kind of mixing a couple of them there. Yeah, anyways. So yeah, that's basically what it's mostly glitchless, and then we do a few really big skips that let us skip entire levels. That's what the run is. Nothing too crazy. Now these days it isn't a popular category. It's like, yeah, it's not like super popular, but it's I've seen that category in some other speedrun communities, but it's not a run that like every speedrun has. But yeah, it's a fun one. It's goofy. It's cool. And we get to watch all the cutscenes that we would normally skip, so that's kind of cool. This game does have good cutscenes. And one cool thing I'll show you, this is kind of a goofy, it's unavoidable. It's like I don't know if it's a little bug, but it feels like dev oversight. So this spider splicer here is going to beat up on her bathysphere, and after that she's going to jump away. But if you look around, if you turn around and walk backwards out of this bathysphere, you can see her like chilling on top of our bathysphere, and then she'll like just disappear all of a sudden. So it's kind of just a goofy thing. I'll show you. Easily your top 5 video games of all time. It's very, very good. Very good. Bioshock games are super fun, especially one is probably everybody's favorite. Number 2 might be my favorite to run, just because you get the drill dash, and having the drill dash is awesome. But yeah, all these games are fun to play casually, but also a lot of fun to speedrun. Grab that. Alright. So I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. So that splicer that beat up on our bathysphere, you can see she like busted up all these wires, and then she jumped away after she was done. But she'll actually still be hanging out on top of the bathysphere here. Boop, and then she disappears. Very goofy. She gets shy. Okay. So there's a really cool skip in this level that we normally... Oh, a little bit of a lag spike. Really cool skip that we do in this level that we won't be doing during this run. But there's a cool thing where in any percent we grab Electrobolt and we do this quick save, use item trickery. We like basically use a handful of commands all at once to trick the game into giving us the Electrobolt without having us trigger the cutscene. And it's really cool. It skips all the cutscenes in the level, but then it's always trying to suck us into this Gatherer's Garden here. So we have to do this like really weird jumping mechanic where we're always hopping away from this Gatherer's Garden. And that just persists throughout the level. It's a really neat trick. Like I said, we're not doing it here, but I just thought I'd mention it because it's super cool. It's a goofy one. Need a new Bioshock game. It will be delivered. They are working on a new Bioshock game, and as long as nothing sad happens in development, it should be coming out eventually. Cloud Chamber is the name of the studio. Kevin Levine, Big Papa Levine, will not be working on it, but I'm sure it'll still be good. Barely remember the story of 2, but remember having fun playing it. I like it. The story-wise, I think it's generally agreed that it's pretty weak story-wise. But gameplay-wise, I think Bioshock 2 is fantastic. 2 is underrated. I agree. Yeah, there you go. Story's not as good as 1. Gameplay is fun. Oh, and Minerva's Den is probably like the best Bioshock content that has ever been made, and there seems to be like a general consensus on that. Gameplay is tight. The story is very good. Yeah, Minerva's Den, worth a playthrough. It's not the same people see your word. Yeah, I feel that. Although I will say this, Bioshock 2 was not under the direction of Kevin Levine, but it was still very good. But we'll see. We'll see. And there was like this leak that came out like just a week or two of like I don't remember who made the leak, but it had a weird like text in it about Bioshock Remastered 2022, which is interesting because they already have Bioshock Remastered. So I don't know what that's all about. So there's some rumors going around that we might get the new Bioshock, or maybe a remastered version of Bioshock in 2022. We'll see. Alright, now we have our first plasmid. Yay, Electrobolt. We'll make our way on through here. We'll hop off that suitcase, and if we keep hopping in this water, we can sort of keep the momentum. The water slows you down, but if you hop on that suitcase, you can keep some faster momentum while you're hopping through the water. It's goofy. So there's a couple look triggers that we're going to be watching out for. We do a little move around, a little weird like that. Oh, I wanted your loot. Oh well. I didn't get the loot. Not a big deal. Loot is not a big issue in this game. I probably will never ever have to worry about my resource management in Bioshock. In all collectibles, it's a thing, but in pretty much every other category, you just don't have to worry about money or health packs or Eve. You'll just always have enough, which is nice. Proto, what's up? Probably just Bioshock Remastered, but with RTX added. Yeah, it could be something like that. We'll see. Oh. First remastered Bioshock had some major technical difficulties. It certainly did. It was, I don't know. It's kind of a joke. It's generally considered that OG Bioshock is the best Bioshock. Alright. we can jump out of this thing a little early when that objective marker basically dings in the corner, then we can hop out of that elevator. Okay. So here's another cutscene that in any percent we can skip through, but not in this version of the not in this category. Which is fine, because it's a pretty cool, pretty brutal, pretty cool cutscene. So there's some neat things about this cutscene. You'll see the Splicer will come in and he'll smack this little sister on the head with a pistol. Pistol whipper. But we'll see a Big Daddy in a second is just going to magically, like, appear there out of thin air. Like, he won't walk into frame. He'll just suddenly be there. Just kind of goofy. And there's, like, a thing with the Big Daddy, so they have, like, in their face, they have certain colors depending on, like, their attitude towards you. So if it's green, you're basically safe. Like, he's not mad at you. If it's yellow, he's, like, on alert. And if it's red, then he is mad at you. And as you can see, he spawns automatically pissed off, which is kind of goofy. And he'll just stand up there and chill until she gets smacked, and then he'll come down and wreck house. Jump scares aren't the same afterwards. There was a few jump scares. It wasn't like super jump scare heavy in Bioshock 1, although there was like a couple parts. I can think of a couple parts specifically. We won't encounter those moments in this run, but yeah. I think Bioshock was just really strong on its atmospheric spookiness. And its really excellent storytelling. Alright. So we'll just wait for the game to let us pull our wrench out, and we'll bust that, and we'll be on our happy little way. We'll zap the water here to kill those splicers, hop down here, and we just want to move over here to trigger the lockdown here. Now we want to make sure that we... Oh, had a little bit of a leg spike. You want to make sure that you shoot that splicer there. Ooh. And if you can get up here fast enough, you can shoot those enemies a little faster. I didn't quite make it. Almost made it. There's 2 waves of them, so we'll get the second wave a little faster. And that just opens up this door a little quicker. And there's like another really neat bug that we won't take advantage, but when you get to the end of this level, if you just zap the exit, you skip this whole cutscene. It's a really... I'm not sure why that works. Such a goofy thing, but yeah, if you like strafe to the side and zap the door, you can skip this whole cutscene here. Really neat. The jump scare in the dentist's office, that's exactly the one I was thinking about. Infinite had 1 or 2 good jump scares as well. But yeah, I know exactly the jump scare that you're talking about. And that definitely got me the first time I played it. Definitely got me. Beating Big Daddies with the wrench is fun. It is fun. Melee playthroughs are really fun, and if I remember correctly, if you get the appropriate set of tonics and buffs, the wrench ends up becoming the highest DPS weapon in the game. Alright. So let's wait for this little cutscene to play. They're going to try to smash through and kill us, but Ryan's going to, or Atlas rather, is going to open the door and get us out of here. So that's basically the end of the intro levels, and this is your first, like, normal level where we'll have the opportunity to deal with big daddies and little sisters, etc., etc. So this little hacking sequence is always the same as long as it's a fresh play of this game. Like, so if I were to hack this and then start another run and hack this again, this hacking sequence would be different. But as long as it's like a fresh open of the game, if that makes sense, that combo will, or that hacking sequence will always be the same, so we can do it super quick. So that's the exit of the level. It's locked. We have to go kill Dr. Steinman so we can get his key and exit the level. That's kind of the main objective here. So that's what we're going to go do. Go take care of Dr. Steinman. Dr. Steinman is like one of my favorite NPCs in this game. He's a pretty cool bad guy. So we got a little bit of a timer before this door over here opens up. We got to wait for this ghost to do her ghost thing. So we can go do some loots and some killings while she's doing that. Want to make sure that we grab these come on, give it to me. There we go. Those armor-piercing pistols. It's not essential, but it comes in very useful for a certain enemy later on in this level. I wasted probably more time than it was worth grabbing them, but oh well. Not the end of the world. Now we're going to get a very useful plasmid, Incinerate. This is going to allow us to do some death warping. Death warping is allowed in this as long as you're not... As long as it's only, like, closing distance. It is not allowed if it gets you past locked doors. Out of my way, people. I like to put some fire there so they don't follow me. Because they will body block you. They get in your way. Jump scare is over there, by the way, that we were talking about earlier. And now we're going to get our other super, super useful plasmid. Telekinesis. Useful for some very obvious reasons, just being able to move stuff around. But also, telekinesis is, like, hands down the most powerful plasmid in the game. You can one-shot basically any enemy using telekinesis. That was a weird little lag spike. You get lag spikes in this game. It's kind of just a thing. I like to throw down some fire there, too, in case any enemies try to follow me, because they do that sometimes. Now we're going to get our armor-piercing rounds out, and we are going to get our telekinesis out. We're going to grab this guy's grenade. Usually you have to wait for a guy up there to throw a grenade down to you, but if you catch his grenade, you can just bust through that door early. And this is why we want armor-piercing rounds, is so we can take care of that machine real fast. So we're going to reduce our life here. In any percent, we would... Well, I guess it's kind of a gamble. I like to make sure I have a tiny bit of life left so that I can hit my invincibility frames once I bust through the glass. But you can, if you're feeling really daring, you can trigger your invincibility frames early and just be ready for the fight. So what we're going to do, there's like a little cylinder. We're going to use that to telekinesis it at him, blow him up, and that'll just one-shot the boss here. But this is Dr. Simon. He's got a really cool intro that I talked through. But yeah, that's him. So I'll take some damage. Oop. Get his body, hopefully. Oh, if you are able to, if you're able to grab his body in midair, you can just pull it towards you, and that just saves time by not having to run to his corpse. But there were other objects flying around that got in my way. So there we go. We death warp, make our way over here, and deal with the little sister. We rescue her just because it's faster than harvesting her. Right. And there's something about something that we do. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure why this happens, but during these cutscenes from here on out, our camera is going to keep just slowly panning down, and we'll end up just staring at the floor while all this stuff is happening. I don't know why it happens. It's kind of goofy. There we go. So instead of looking at her, yep, we're just slowly panning down, staring at the floor, because that's how we roll. Is this reman? Yeah, Proto's gotcha. Yep, this is the OG version of the game. And yes, on easy, that is correct. Seen a lot of no major in your time, but never a no minor. Right, yeah, and that's why this is kind of considered like sort of like a meme run. It's not like super memey, but just in that way, the fact that it's a no minor skips is just kind of a meme run. Alright, so we were gonna rescue her, because like I say, that's faster. And we saved like a second or two. No. It's okay, little sister. Even though you guys are annoying, we'll go ahead and save you. So there's like a little bit of
Thank you, mister.
Dialogue manipulation in a way. Depending on where we stand, we can open up this Gatherer's Garden earlier, and then we can move on with the rest of the level after that. It's like after this dialogue, I'm going to want to be standing by the door. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure it makes you wait like another few seconds before that'll open up. I can hear everything going. There we go. We're ready to rock and roll. Nice. Nice. I got that nice and quick. Pretty happy with that. Okay. And that's basically it for Medical Pavilion. We're just going to make our way to the end of the level and get on out of here. Hi. Bye. Sometimes there's an enemy here that wants to body block you, but if we toss the corpse at him, then we'd be good. Boop. That was some smooth movement there. It's usually a grenade. There we go. That gets exploded there. You can catch it and shoot any enemies that are trying to body block you. Alright. Oh, I thought the game was going to crash on me for a second. Just another lag spike. Kind of a big lag spike there. Lag spikes just are part of the Bioshock experience. It just happens. Alright. Neptune's Bounty. Here we come. Here we go. Here we come. Here we go. That was a combination of the words come and go. I don't know why I decided to try to say both of them at the same time, but that's the way it is. While this level's loading, you can start moving forward, like, while it's black, so I don't know, it's just kind of a goofy thing. You can get some movement in while the level's kind of phasing in or whatever. Alright, we're gonna take out this guy. Make sure we get this little corner hop first. There we go. We're gonna use this to kill this spider splicer. Not necessarily kill her, but deal some damage to her. So this is like a, almost one of those, like, unbeatable fights coming up here where the spider splicer is going to drop down and attack us. But we can sort of do a little bit of manipulation to make it end a little earlier by doing some damage. And like I say, telekinesis is super strong, so we're going to use that, busted up turret there to deal some damage to her. And hopefully get her to back up into right where she dropped down. If we can get her back up right there, then she'll jump up there a little faster. Oh, there we go, that's, oh, don't go too far. No, where are you going? There we go. That was okay. That could have been a tiny bit faster, but all things considered, that wasn't too bad. Okay. So that's the exit of the level. This is where Peach is over there, and he's not going to let us go until we take some pictures of some spider splicers for him. So that's the main part of this level is going to get the camera, taking pictures of some splicers, and hot-footing it back here. Then I'll let you into the fisheries. Beep. Bye. Oh, I like to shoot those guys because sometimes they'll body block you. Alright, make our way over here. We get our pistol out. We're going to bust up some locks, and it's easiest to bust these locks with the pistol just because you get the most exact aim with the pistol. The most precise aim, the most accurate. Oops. Alright. Alright, we get our camera here. Take a picture of splicer number 1. There we go. Or not. There we go. Had to go back and get him back into frame. Bye. Alright. Come down here. Take a little bit of damage. We're going to be doing a death warp in a little bit. Take care of this guy. And we'll take a picture of this splicer right up there real quick. And then the other splicer, the third and final splicer, is going to be right there. Easy. Got him. Alright, now we're going to go get ourselves all set up for a death warp. Out of my way, guy. Oh, it's going to get that body so this guy wouldn't body block me. Oh, we're good. Alright, we are ready for our death warp. Pretty sure I hit my invincibility frames. We'll find out. There we go, we're good. I like to call this part of the game, when you get the camera, like on a normal playthrough, it's like Bioshock Snap, or if you're doing like all collectibles, you end up just taking tons and tons of pictures at this point. So we are going to grab this, oh, there we go, that grenade launcher with telekinesis. We're not going to actually like grab it into our inventory quite yet, because Peach is going to take away our weapons in just a second, and we can grab this grenade launcher after he takes our weapons away. It's not so much that we need the grenade launcher for the fight, but it just gives us more ammo if we do things this way.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Yes, we do. Go ahead.
Alright, well, just as I was saying that, we got another big one. Alright, first of all, we got a $20 donation by Sam without a comment. Thank you very much. And also, we've got a $100 donation by Viper saying, figured I might as well get my donation in before the event is over. Great to see so many new runners in this event, as always, and hope everyone has enjoyed it all. Thank you very much for that donation. Also, let me just quickly check on how the donation build war is doing now. So, we had some changes in here. Oh man, this is interesting. Now, for the Resident Evil character bit war, we have Jill at $120, and Chris has now taken over the lead with $160.
Ooh.
So if there are any Jill fans outside there, get your $40 in to make Jill win the lead again. You still got until the end of this run. Back to you.
Right on. I think Jill's been winning at Bid War since I've been watching today, so that's the first time I recall Chris being in the lead. And also, very, very generous donos there. Very generous.
Totally agree.
Alright, that was a good Neptune's Bounty. I'm on good PB pace at the moment, which is nice. I was over PB pace by like 6 or 7 seconds before that level. I must have had a really bad Neptune's Bounty on my PB, so that's nice. Hopefully I can keep this pace going on. We shall see. We shall see. Give me that pistol ammo. There we go. This is really short. This is kind of like I call it in-between Z level. It's really short. It's just, or like a transition level. Wow. Did I get that? I think I got that. Yeah, nice. It's really short. It's just basically getting to here and watching the cutscene. We can do some cool trickery during any percent where we do a quick save and then we hit the use item button at the same time and start backing out while the game is quick saving. And we can actually back out of that door before it shuts and locks behind us. But here we get to see Atlas. Hi, Atlas. He's like our guide throughout the game. And his wife and kid are allegedly in the bathysphere here. This is a pretty cool cutscene too. Not only will we see, we shall believe. 250 away from 2K. Yeah, that's not bad. And there's still, there's still a handful of time left in this marathon. We could get there. That's not a bad goal to reach. Sean Splicer. That's pretty good. That makes me laugh. I like to throw a barrel up there because it just knocks these splicers out of the way so they don't body block you. And it's always a good idea to blow this thing up if you can. It blows up either way, but it just looks cool if it's you. It looks cool if it's you doing it. It's for swag points, basically. Alright, and that's basically it for this small little level. Like I say, kind of a little transition level. Nothing too crazy. And the next 2 levels, so it's kind of funny because like up to this point it's been glitchless, and then the next 2 levels we're just gonna skip. And then we play through most of the rest of the game normally. All right. Moira Patrick. Yeah, so that was his wife and kids. Spoilers, it's not actually his wife and kids, but his wife and kid was in that bathysphere, so now he's a sad boy. Sorry, Atlas. Sorry for your loss. Alright, we're gonna get our camera out. So when you research enemies, you get, like, buffs. Like, you'll get increased damage versus certain enemies, and if you research certain enemies to a certain level of research, you'll get tonics and stuff like that. And we don't really care about it for the most part, but there is one that we want, which is Sports Boost, which is going to allow us to move faster, and that is very useful in speedruns for some pretty obvious reasons. Oh, I usually am not able to get Sports Boost on her. Usually I have to take a picture of a second enemy in order to get that Sports Boost. So this box, we're going to carry with us, and we can do a cool thing called a fling. So we stand on top of this box when we get to a certain spot, and we jump and use telekinesis, and we can just use it to fly way up into the air. And we're going to jump over a trigger that locks the exit of this level. That's the idea. That's the idea. That's the plan. So we want to make sure not to look behind us, because if this locked door has like, oh, we're gonna take care of him so he doesn't. Oh, where'd you go, boss? Oh no. Oh, that box was being sassy. Okay, so it's basically landing exactly how we don't want it. I don't want it on its butt end like that. Well, this box is being very, very rude to us. That's a big loss of time. Alright. We'll do a quick save here. That was really sad. This box is being rude to us. Taking a long time to get into position. But here we go. So we jumped over the trigger that locks the door, and then we can just exit out of this level. Yeah, that'll probably lose all that time that I had saved. Oh well. That's the way it be sometimes. Alright, there we go. Another level where you can hold forward while the screen kind of fades from black. So you can get some distance while you're waiting for it all to load in. And there's another level, like I say, we're going to skip pretty much this whole level. We're just going to get right here, and we're going to fling over a barrier and make our way onto the next level. That was nice and smooth. Oh, I think I jumped weird. Let's see, is this exit level going to be right there? Be nice to me? Alright, I might have to do it this way. If you jump just right, you can basically find the exit of the level right when you land. But I think I moved a little bit too far to the left, so the end of the level trigger was not where I wanted it to be. But that's fine. The run skipping Fort Frolic always upsets you. It's your favorite by far. Yeah, Fort Frolic is basically like everybody's favorite level. It's my favorite level too. Sander Cohen is an excellent NPC, and we don't get to see him at all during this run. Just too bad. Too bad. But it also is a cool trick to be able to fling over that barrier. So now we're gonna, for pretty much most of the rest of this run, it's gonna be playing like normal, just a glitchless run to get through it all. So in this level, we need to basically mess with Andrew Ryan's, mess with all of his stuff. We're gonna build a bomb, an EMP bomb. So that's what we're doing in this level, getting components and building EMP bomb. So we're gonna go and kill a bunch of Big Daddies and get some loot off the Big Daddy's corpse and get a couple other supplies. And that's what we get. That's this level in a nutshell. So we got a little bit of a timer. We gotta wait for some dialogue to play before this door opens. So we're just gonna see if we got the Michael Jordan skills here. Try to get these guys to just stick up there. No luck so far. Ragdoll physics in this game are excellent. Oh, I thought we had it for a second. This is giving me trouble. Usually I can get it for a second try. There we go. And we got more corpses here. Let's go. Oh, no, no luck. We good? Are we good? Yeah, we good. I feel like there's another corpse around here somewhere. Can we get 3? 2's not that impressive. Oh, I think we're good. Oh, no, he's gonna creep on down. Alright, I'll put this corpse here so we can use it later when we're getting out of here. Okay. So, there's gonna be like four enemies right when we get out of here, so I'm just gonna blast them with a grenade so they don't body block me. We hop whenever we're traveling through water just because it's faster than just walking through normally. Alright, there we go. Okay, so let's reload this. We're gonna get our grenade launcher out again, and we're gonna use this to kill this Big Daddy here. Just in case those didn't get him. Finish him off with machine guns. There we go. That's one Big Daddy. We're going to leave him up there because we're going to loot his corpse later. And let's reload our grenade launcher because there's going to be another Big Daddy up here. Either up here, usually down to the left. Yep, okay. I always like to check just in case he's up top. Sometimes he is. Get out of here. Alright, we should have gotten an auto hack from this door off of a Peach when we killed him earlier. We'll go ahead and trigger our invincibility frames here, so we're ready to do a death warp in a little bit. We don't want to do it quite yet, so I'm gonna heal myself on my way out of here. There we go. I'm gonna telekinesis this Big Daddy so he's right there for me. There we go. Alright. So we get that, and we will do a death warp. There we go. Now we can start collecting components once this dialogue is finished playing, which should be in just a second. Well, don't go too far there, Big Daddy. Alright. So we'll leave that guy there. We'll collect his corpse later. We're going to make our way over here and collect this component. Oh, hi, guy. Oh, I don't want to die quite yet. In just a second. There we go. I got the thing. Now we'll do our death warp. Let's go. Let's go. Alright. Got it. Did you know that the basic casing is ready? I was aware, actually. Alright, we got one component. We got two components. We've got our ionic gel container. We'll go collect our last few supplies here. I like to grab this and just throw them at that guy. You don't really need to, but it brings me joy, I guess. Grab that, and grab our last thing. Boom, we have all the stuff we need to build the bomb. So we can put a fire there to hit our invincibility frames while we're building this thing. There we go. And once we got it all built, we can just go ahead and do our death warp. It does look like a real... It looks like a real heavy bomb. I'm not sure how I'm actually just pocketing that thing, to be honest. Alright. We'll come here, blow up these things real quick. Don't shoot me, please. We're gonna get these proximity grenades all ready to go and set up a little bit of a defense here. Oh, that one was placed a little goofy, but that's fine. There we go. And we just turn this until that little thing at the top of the screen rotates 90 degrees. And hopefully all these enemies blow themselves up and do not come and attack me and kill me. Looks like a it kind of does look like a submarine. I never thought about that, but it kind of does look like a submarine. Woo! They're running low on health kits. Be alright. Alright, there we go. You can always shoot these things and grab some health kits out of them. Alright, so we are going to want to do a death warp in a little bit. We can reduce our health a little bit while we're waiting. Not too far, not quite yet. So we'll place a bomb, do a death warp, and then basically get out of here. There we go.
So far away from your family, from your friends, from everything you ever loved.
From everything you ever loved. See if we can hit this thing a little quicklier. Oh, it's a little too fast. I'm gonna jump in there. Come on now. Come on now. Let's put a fire rate out there. And as soon as this gate opens, we'll do a death warp. There we go. There we go. Alright. And we'll get on out of here. I'm gonna get another grenade ready. For when we're getting out of here. There's gonna be an enemy that's gonna want to body block me, so I'm gonna take care of him with a grenade. Point. Hi, guy. There we go. I'm gonna grab that corpse that I put here earlier to take care of these guys. There we go. Hit that thing, just wait for this door to open, and that'll be it for this level. You hear me, Atlas? Alright. Wait for the dialogue to finish, then get out of this level. Now we're gonna go to Rapture Central Control. This is kind of like another like short transition level. It's mostly cutscene. So that's what we got going on. This is like the big like M. Night Shyamalan twist of the game. So there's like, this is where we want to go, is up these stairs, but there's like an invisible wall here. And we can actually hop over it. We don't do it in this run, but I can at least hop on top of it and show you. Oh, I didn't jump far enough. But that's how you do it. You jump on top of this little vending machine and we can actually get out of this area earlier if we wanted. But we won't. But we could. But we won't.
You can kill me, but you will never have my city. My strength is not in steel and fire. That is what the parasites will never understand. A season for all things.
This game's got some pretty great dialogue. Some good writing. Some good writings. A time to destroy. There we go. Grab some loot while we're here. Alright, I got all the loots. Every single one of them. Would you kindly? Alright. And now we get to watch the Andrew Ryan cutscene. We normally skip this during the any percent run, so it's kind of cool that we get to watch this. Although, like I had mentioned earlier, after he lets us through this door, a cutscene will play, and much like the cutscene from earlier, we're just gonna slowly keep panning down, and eventually we're just gonna be staring at his rockin' shoes there. And you don't get to see all the gory, brutal cutscene that plays out here. I like that golf remote. Very appropriate.
And then this place. Was there really a family? Did that airplane crash?
Or was it hijacked?
Or was it hijacked? Forced down. Forced down by something less than a man. Something bred to sleepwalk through life until they are activated by a simple phrase.
Spoken by their kindly master.
Was a man sent to kill, or a slave?
Do I have the time to just come in here real quick again?
You certainly do. Yeah, we got a generous amount of time coming up here.
Alright, that's beautiful, because I just want to remind everyone that we do have this donation bid war for the upcoming Resident Evil run. The Resident Evil HD remaster. We are choosing if we are gonna be playing as Chris or Jill. Currently, Chris is in the lead with $160. Jill slightly behind that with $120. If you want to see Jill, then you better get your donations in. You have like until the end of this run and a little bit longer, like 5 minutes longer or so, but after that you will have to the decision will be made. And if you want to see Jill has to be on top then, so get your donations in for that. You know, it's all for a good cause, it's all for Crisis. They're working to stop the homelessness, and which is a very good cause, and yeah. That is all I have to say. Back to you.
Get those donos in. Yeah, that's I think this is the last bid war too, right? Or I don't know if there's any other after this. I think it's the last one, but now's the time to get them in.
Very last one, indeed.
And like you say, good cause, definitely a good cause. That's why we do these things. Ooh, all right, it's getting a little warm in my room. Time to turn the AC back on. There's no happy medium in my room. I'm either like always too hot or too cold. It's I call it my menopause. But I'm never quite comfortable. Never quite comfortable with the temperature in my room. Alright, here we go.
Hurry now! Grab Ryan's genetic key! Now would you kindly put it in that goddamn machine?
And this is, coming up is probably some of the best dialogue in this game after we put this key in the machine here. Like I say, this is sort of like the M. Night Shyamalan twist of the game. We've skipped a lot of the story stuff just because we've been speeding through the game, but if you actually were paying attention to the story during like a casual playthrough, this part is pretty wild, pretty revealing. It's pretty groovy part of the game. And also a neat thing, I've always thought that this looks like a little face, like he's blowing steam out of his mouth, and that's his blue nose, and those are his eyes right there. Just thought I'd share that with you. There is a thing in these speedruns called audio diary skips, where I could go to my menu and I could play just a different audio diary and would skip past all this dialogue, and then the door behind me would behind me, there we go, would open and we could move on through. But like we say, no minor skips. So we won't be doing that. But yeah, normally we could skip all this stuff. And there's some other there's some other trickery that we can do in this level that we could skip that Andrew Ryan cutscene as well, but we don't do that in this one. And I've always thought, so I never realized this till probably like a month or two ago, and I don't think this was on accident, but it's remarkable how much these buildings look like the Eve hypos that you inject into your arm with the pointy spires. It could just be a coincidence, but I think they very much look like the Eve hypos, and I don't know. I doubt it was an accident. Seems like a design choice, but I think it's pretty neat. Alright. Another cool thing, this little sister is just going to appear there in a second. Kind of like that Big Daddy from earlier. Boop! Here she is.
Watch out, mister.
Alright, these little sisters are going to help us escape, but they actually lead us into a trap. Sneaky, sneaky sisters. Come with me! Well, I guess I will. I guess I will, kid. Okay. On to Olympus Heights. So there's kind of like a weird mechanic in this level. So, that the "would you kindly" phrase, Atlas can kind of mind control us. And he pulls out this other mind control thing called Code Yellow, which he'll do in a little bit here. But it's going to mess up our plasmids. So we'll have like random plasmids for a little bit in these next couple levels. But it's nothing... It's like random, but it's actually fixed. It goes through the same rotation every time. But during a casual playthrough, it would seem more random. Something I like to do while waiting for this sequence to play out. So I like to see how many times I can bounce on top of her head. It sort of like pushes you off. So if you can use your directional pads, you can sometimes get a string of bounces. I think 9 is my record. Ooh, that was 6. That's very good. Showing off some swag here. Alright, we're ready to go. She's had enough of that. Her neck can only take so much structural damage before she just has to call it quits. Another little swag thing that we'll try to do. See if we can jump on top of this little sister's head from this railing here.
Who's he?
Alternately, you can jump on top of the teddy bear and then jump on top of her head, but this is the more swaggy way to do it. But it's very difficult. We'll wait till she runs away and give it a shot. Oh, messed it up. Messed it up. The teddy bear has already been messed up, so we can't do the backup strat. Like I say, it has nothing to do with the actual run itself, but it's for the swags. For the swags. Alright. Rotate that thing a handful of times and make our way out of here. Boink. We'll come here and get a very powerful weapon, this crossbow. It's kind of like the closest thing we have to a sniper rifle in this game, but it's very powerful. Usually we'll one-shot enemies, although it's not really necessary because we also have telekinesis, but it's nice to have. If I like to throw the barrel at the ceiling, it'll knock these splicers over so that they won't body block you. Oh wow, that security camera was not feeling it. It had my number. Okay, boink. Hop over that. We'll grab this audio diary. That audio diary is going to allow us to progress through the level, basically. It's kind of like, basically a mandatory audio diary. We'll enter this code. Good. And we're actually going to wait here. So normally, we could move up to the next area. You going to poke your head up? Oh, hi, guy. There we go. Wanted my steel bolt back. Anyways, yeah, so we could hit this button and move the elevator up if we wanted to, but you can actually save time just because the way that the dialogue stacks on top of itself, I think, something like that. But if we wait till this objective marker pops up in the right-hand corner before going up this elevator, we'll actually save time. That's also a relatively new find. Saves like probably like 10 seconds or so, something like that. Code Rainbow. I like to call that there's like a trick you do in this level where you can warp to the next level, but you have to keep calm down, phone. They calling. You have to keep playing a certain radio message over. It's the egg salad radio message, so I call it Code Egg Salad. All right. My mama. It's my mama. I gotta call her later on, I guess. Now, take that thing out. If this thing catches you and sends bots after you, then you have to deal with all the bots before this door will open, so always make sure to take that thing out. So normally we'd come up here and we'd have to wait for a bunch of dialogue before we grab this lot 192, but since we waited till that one objective marker popped up, we can grab that thing right away, which is nice. So here's where we start getting random plasmids. Shoot that guy so that this turret will leave us alone. The first little plasmid, they give us a security command, so anybody that we target with this plasmid, any electronic devices, any turrets or security bots will target whatever enemy that we paint with this. Kind of neat. It's kind of good. It's like a decent plasmid, especially if you're doing... I find it particularly useful in melee playthroughs. Like, especially you're playing like a hard difficulty, because then you can just get in front of a camera, paint somebody with this, and then let the security bots just kill your big daddies for you. It kind of takes a while, but it's definitely easier than fighting them. When he gives us ice, that's the one we have right now. And I believe the next one is target dummy. My territory. Oh, hi, guys. Alright. And we'll get out of this level. And then we gotta go collect our second lot, 192, which will put our plasmids all back to normal. Mother Tater. Don't forget what? Mother Tater. I'm not sure what Mother Tater is, but I won't forget. Ooh, we had a gold split on that level. How nice. How nice. Alright. So we have a lot of life. I want to get my life reduced, so I'm going to shoot this big daddy so that he will attack me and reduce my health a little bit. Oops. Oof. Alright. Kind of an unfortunate lag spike there, but that is just fine. Alright. Now, I don't want to take any more damage. I'm pretty much right where I want to be. So I'm going to put that right there. Ooh, don't shoot me. There we go. We good. Don't send security bots after me, sir. Hi. Pardon me, guy. Pardon me. Okay, we're gonna get zapped by this to hit our invincibility frames. Oop, come on now. Stop walking into things. And we'll collect our lot 192 and do a death orb. Now we have all our normal plasmids again. Everything is back to normal. Mama, Mom Benedictor is... Oh, Mother Tater. I got you. I see where you're going with that. I like that. Mother Tater. I'm sure she'll love that nickname. I'll have to let her know. Mother Tater. That's pretty good. I shan't forget. I shan't forget. Alright. Let's heal up so that we don't die. Time to get out of this level. We got our lot 192. That's all we really cared about for this level. You don't really need to do this, but I like to take care of these splicers just because I can. Right. There we go. We'll get out of this level once we're at the bottom of this elevator. And then we're on to Point Prometheus, which is the last major skip that we do. And after that, we're done with all the major skips. Just a nickname for your mom. Don't forget to call her after. For sure. For sure. I'll definitely give her a call. I have a feeling I know what it is. I don't think it's great news. But we'll see. I got family that's sick. And I don't think things were looking great. Alright. Point Prometheus. Let's see if we can do Last Chance Kid. Hopefully we get it first try. Alright, here we go. There's Atlas, who's now fully revealed as Frank Fontaine. He's the bad guy. He's like your guide turned bad guy. So he's like good guy and then bad guy. He's got a cool little reveal. He's a good enemy. Alright, so we're gonna try to take out these bots with the cylinder so that they don't bug me while I'm trying to set up for this skip here. Ooh, that did not work out like I hoped it would. Oh well, that's fine. It's not the end of the world. So we're gonna get right up here. Come on, right there. That's probably good enough. Get right there, make a quick save, and we're gonna hop over a trigger that locks us in place. Oops. Try again. Try again! I think we got it there, yep. Then we can slip through this door. Oof. Yeah, barely got it. Nice. We can slip through that door before he locks it on us. I'll take second attempt. That's not terrible. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's like distant. I've never been close to them, but it's, you know, it's my mom's brother. Who knows? Maybe it'll be good news. I don't really know. I hope it's good news. It doesn't sound great. Alright, so we're gonna wait till she does a little twitch there, and then we're gonna start moving. So we can manipulate whether she decides to walk through this level or run through this level by standing in that exact spot that we were standing and waiting until she moves into a certain spot. And if we did it right, she'll start running once we get out of this doorway. So we'll see. It seems first and try. Yep, first and try, exactly. Although second try is not too shabby. The first one is always weird. Like there's a weird, like when you do a quick save, it's almost like the levels where it fades in from black, where you can start moving while the level's like fading in. That sort of happens when you do a quick save, but then when you do a quick load, it sort of resets you back further, so you can, I don't know, kind of set up for it a little better. But she's running for us, so this will be a good level. This will be a good level. She won't be a slowpoke. Yeah, little sisters are like notoriously hated in the speedrun community, because if they decide to start walking, they'll sit there and just like talk all sorts of smack the whole time. Hurry up, Big Daddy! Little angels don't wait on Big Daddies. Or on slowpokes. She'll tell you to hurry up as she's walking around all slow, and it is infuriating. So yeah, we don't mind when we have to harvest them in certain situations. Little sisters are not beloved for speedrunners. Alright, so there's gonna be 6 enemies that we have to kill. Alright, there you are. 6 enemies that we have to kill for each of these little gathering sequences. Oh, missed you, I guess. Oh, that was a little rough. They hiding. There we go. That's 6. So we have to do this 3 times. She's gonna gather 3 corpses, and we just fight 6 enemies during each of those gathering sequences. And as you can see, we just use telekinesis the whole time because it's so freaking powerful. Telekinesis is the best. And we're just gonna totally miss these enemies here. Alright. So we're gonna place some grenades down. Oh, there we go. I meant to grab the body. And hopefully those grenades will kill any enemies that want to come around the corner there. Hopefully the sister will be good and not soft lock for us. This little sister is notorious for getting soft locked. Sometimes after the gathering sequence is done, she'll just stand up and not move, and it's a horrible, horrible thing to happen. Let's see if she does. That was our last enemy here. Hopefully, usually it's fine, but every once in a while she'll soft lock and just stand there, and it's a really sad thing to happen right at the end of your run, especially if you're on like really good pace, and she'll just stand there and be like, "I'm done, game over, reset." We're fine. All right, so I meant to grab some of those proximity mines. That's gonna make the end of this run a little goofy. It won't be a big problem, but we want proximity mines for the proximity grenades for the last boss. That's the best way to fight the last boss. Maybe I'll get lucky and find some. Oh, let's go. Why would you do this? Why would you start walking? We were doing so well. Look at that. See? And now she's gonna talk all sorts of smack. Open the door. Oh, and now okay. And now I have to kill these things because she got hit. See, these little sisters are the worst. They're horrible. Oh, no, she's going. Okay, we're good. I thought she was going to sit there and wait, but she's going. Got him. Got him. Let's go. Let's go, little sister. They made the worst mechanic in this game a main mechanic in Bioshock 2. What mechanic? Oh yeah, the harvesting of the bodies, yes. So while I do like Bioshock 2 better than Bioshock 1 generally, not a fan of the harvesting sequences in Bioshock 2. It's pretty horrible, actually. You coming, lady? Oh, what are you doing? Let's go. Don't turn around. Yeah, like, it's not so bad in Bioshock 1, the gathering sequences, or when you deal with Little Sister, because you kill a Big Daddy, then you deal with the Little Sister, and that's it. That's the whole thing. But in Bioshock 2, if you want to get all the Atom, you have to harvest a body. You kill the Big Daddy, rescue the Little Sister, and you gotta harvest like 2 Big Daddies for each Little Sister and fight a wave of enemies, and it's really tedious and horrible. Not a fan of them doing that in Bioshock 2. It's really the only part of the game that's worse, I think. Please stop doing that. Please stop running away from me. This wave of enemies is being really goofy for me. There we go. Alright, and that's the last of the waves that we have to fight. Done with that part of the run. Surprise. Alright, so we'll get some grenades out. We'll fight this Big Daddy that's about to spawn. So we're going to sit here and kind of wait for the Little Sister to run around the corner, and she's going to go open up the door. We just let her open up the door because otherwise if we trigger this Big Daddy, then she'll get scared and kind of hide and wait till this Big Daddy is dead before deciding to open up the door. So we just do that. Hi, guy. Alright. And now we'll make our way to the end of this level, and on to the boss fight. I need more. So we are going to get our proximity grenades all set up, and we're going to grab these grenades as well. So all we need is 6 proximity grenades, and then like 3 or 4 regular grenades to fight the boss. And it's pretty much, you know, it's a pretty scripted fight. It's pretty cookie cutter. Gotta go slip. That's the worst. I know. I feel it. At least Bioshock 2 is not important story-wise to the franchise. Yeah, basically I agree with that. It's kind of like story-wise, it's like the redheaded stepchild. It's just like, it's like kind of separate from all the rest of the story. All right, so here we are with the Fontaine fight. This fight is gonna take about a minute, so we're getting pretty close to wrapping up here. I'll give you a countdown when we're getting close, but yeah, we got about a minute left in the run here. Just like real little sisters. That's funny. Yes, indeed. So what we're gonna do is so he's gonna hop down from his little pedestal and we're gonna kill him. And we can insta-kill him for the first 2 phases, like a 3-phase fight. So we can insta-kill him by placing 3 grenades right where he's gonna land, and as soon as they land, he blows up. That's the idea here. So let's do the thing. And you want to make sure they're kind of spaced out, like they're not stacked on top of each other, otherwise they won't get like the full splash damage, and he'll still be alive. That was good placement there. And we'll start reloading the weapon before we interact with him right now, which is what I did. And that way, while we're running up to him this time, we'll be able to reload our grenades and get our normal grenades going. All right, so we're almost done with the run. Probably got about like 10 seconds left or something, or maybe more than that. All right, probably like 5, 4. I think we're good. 3, 2, 1. End of the run. There we go. That's it for Bioshock. No minor skips. Yeah, pretty fun. GG, thank you very much, yeah. So yeah, that's it. I'll go just kind of do some quick shoutouts. Thanks again for letting me take part in this marathon. I'm glad I could be, glad I could do my run and help out raising money for a good cause. Shout out to the Bioshock community, and yeah, everybody take it easy. Thanks for watching. Hope y'all have a good time. I'll let this cutscene play out, and you can transition on over to the next runner whenever you feel like it. Oh, and
All right.
the little this guy's been hanging out inside my shirt in my belly. That's what he likes to do while I stream, and he always pokes out at the end of my runs because he can tell a change in the cadence of my voice. But we get a little bit of dog tax.
Oh,
But
that's cute.
But yeah, all right. Otherwise, take it easy, guys. Thanks for letting me run.
All right, thank you very much, benedictatorr, for this awesome Bioshock run. Next up, we've got Tom Pano running
They offered you
Resident
this
Evil, the HD remaster. But keep in mind, we still have this bid war of Chris versus Jill, and Chris is still leading
And
with
you
$40.
refused it.
So, if you
what did
want
you
to
do
see
instead?
Jill being played, then please get your
I've come to
donations in
expect
now
you.
during this intermission.
You
We are
saved them.
setting up the run, and
You gave them the
please
one
get your
thing that
donations
was
in.
stolen from
We
them.
will see you very soon after a quick ad break,
chance.
so we'll be right back.
A chance to learn.